Government officials knew from the start, convincing the public they need to help fund a new arena for the Milwaukee Bucks would be a tough sell. And when the governor announced the plan, he made sure it was backed by Democrats and Republicans from the state, county, and city. The main selling point? It will only cost the state $80 million to keep the Bucks. However, if the Bucks leave, they assert it will cost the state almost $420 million. Under this plan, government would be responsible for half the cost of building the new arena. Here's the breakdown. The state would contribute $80 million over the next 20 years, the county would do the same, the city would pitch in $47 million, and the Wisconsin Center District would be responsible for $93 million. Now, there are plenty of concerns over each piece of this pie. Income tax collections from NBA players over the next 30 years figured into how much the state should contribute.
The part that I call a pleasant fantasy is the idea that, yes, with the new media contract, the Bucks will see probably sharply increased team income over the coming years. But the governor's plan, from the February plan to now the May-June plan, has been based on the idea that that will increase steadily over 30 years at 12% a year. That it will double during the term of this contract by 2024, and that it would double again, and then double again, and within the 30 years that income will go up fourfold. And I think that's really a stretch.
Milwaukee County's portion will come from debt collections.
In the governor's proposal, there is that idea that the state would become the collection agency essentially for county debts. As a backstop to that, if it's insufficient, if they're not collecting $4 million a year, the governor's proposal says that the state would withhold shared revenue from the county to make up whatever the difference is. But that hasn't been spelled out. And I think if that's a decision that's going to be made, local government officials should be voting on that and approving of that, because again, they're going to have the brunt of the pain if the Bucks leave. They need to be involved in thoroughly vetting the whole proposal at a local level. They should be taking care of this locally, not the state.
Some state lawmakers are especially not happy with what they see as the city of Milwaukee's token contribution.
When I look at the city's contribution, I appreciate the fact that a lot of hard work went into getting the city even at the table here, because their original position was they wanted the state to just do it for them. And so now we've got $12 million that's going into city park space that will be nearby the arena. That's nice. And I think the parking garage, the fact they're going to tear down an existing structure and then build a new one and then get revenue stream from the new one, that's all fine.
Finally, the Wisconsin Center District, that's the entity responsible for the Convention Center, the Wisconsin Theater, and the UWM Panther Arena. It will be responsible for the new Bucks Arena and for coming up with $93 million.
The Wisconsin Center District is going to take out bonds to put into this deal, but they don't have any available cash to pay those bonds. So those bonds would be, there would be no principal or interest paid on those bonds for 13 years. So they would just build, the principal would build because of the interest not being paid.
In addition to these specific concerns, lawmakers like Representatives Dean Knudson and Dave Murphy wonder if state government should be subsidizing a professional sports team in the first place.
If the Bucks leave, then it hurts Milwaukee. This is a Milwaukee issue. At best, it's a regional issue. By no stretch is it a statewide issue.
This sets a new precedent. The Milwaukee Brewers Stadium was done through a local sales tax, the 1%. We gave them the authority to do that, but it's not state money. The Packers Lambeau Field renovation, that was a 0.5% sales tax that Brown County put on. Now all of a sudden it's actual state dollars going into it. And I got a problem with that, and I don't like to set that precedent.
For the MacIver Institute, I'm Bill Osmulski.